Welcome to Zeitgeist Lab Collections, Collection 2, Episode 3. I'm your co-host, Brian. I am with my other co-host, Alex.
Brian, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Not too bad. I can't complain.
Neither can I. I'm pretty high.
Okay.
Made a sandwich. Been looking forward to this all day.
What kind of sandwich? What's our sandwich we're rocking tonight?
We got pepperoni, salami, and provolone.
Okay. Let's explore that for a little bit because, as we know, all our listeners actually care about is food and snacks. Pepperoni, salami, and provolone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've talked about things similar to this, but will you do like really weird meat combinations? That's not too weird of a one, but
that's not weird at all. No. Hey, dude, fuck off.
Here we go. All right. The episode has officially begun.
We're rolling. No, this isn't weird. This at my grocery store, one near my house. They do an Italian deli combo where they sell you a pound of pepperoni, salami, and provolone. So
okay, all right. My new goal is for you to tell me that exact same fact every episode this collection. So
what?
You said that last week, or maybe you said it behind the paywall. I don't know.
I mentioned it behind the paywall.
Did you? Okay.
I was like, yeah, I love The Sopranos. I'm watching it every fucking day. I'm only eating Italian meat.
That's right.
I'm all in. You know. Okay.
So now I hope that our patrons feel ripped off. They paid $3 when they could have heard about the pound of meat you get in front of the paywall without having to spend any of their hard-earned money.
I feel like I'm revealing too much about myself on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean it's not a weird selection, but like I'll do things like I'll do turkey, roast beef, and pepperoni on a sandwich, and my wife always thinks that's weird.
That's weird. The pepperoni's weird.
Really? See,
I think
it's the roast beef that's weird. I don't know. Like I like roast beef, but I think with turkey and pepperoni, like I think the whole thing is just kind of bizarre. I don't know that those three things necessarily go together.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because it's not like deli pepperoni or like the big like slices. I get like the little, like if I was gonna make my own pizza, so I just got like 7 or 8 of those little pepperonis on the sandwich.
That's weirder. But yeah, I feel like I'm revealing too much about my life on this podcast when we're talking about the meat I eat.
I don't think that's too much. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know, but I would hazard a guess.
I plan to put out there, you know.
Yeah, but I would just imagine that almost anyone has information worse than the type of meat they put on their sandwich they wouldn't want to share.
That's true. Yeah, it could be much worse.
It's not like you're sharing bad information, but I mean, I'm slowly collecting all these facts about you because, like, while the podcast is great, my main goal is to steal your identity and do something with it. I haven't figured out what yet, but...
Okay, yeah. Well, keep me updated on what you plan to do with my identity and once you steal it.
Well, yeah. Now that I know about your 3 favorite things to put on a sandwich, I can probably answer all your security questions you have set up at different websites.
I wouldn't say those are my 3 favorite things to put on a sandwich.
Well,
that's just what I have. That's just what I buy and have right now.
Okay.
Like, I'm on food stamps. I could only afford certain delicacies.
I mean, yeah. Isn't salami that's like one of the more expensive meats, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. I mean, the whole pack costs $8.
Okay, but it's a pound of meat or a pound of each meat?
I think it's a pound total.
Okay. That's still not bad for $8.
Yeah, it's a shit ton of food, man. But yeah, so anyway, we're not here to talk about meat necessarily.
I'm into it.
I mean, it's just going to make me more hungry because I'm high. And I just made a sandwich, and I don't want to get up and do it all over again.
Well,
so Maybe let's not talk about food for once on this podcast.
Is it really our podcast if we're not talking about food instead of what we're here to talk about?
We talk about food a lot, man. I don't get it. It's just I don't know how we always get there.
It's what our listeners demand of us.
That's true. Yeah, maybe we should do an entire collection about cheese.
A cheese collection.
Yeah,
Well,
cheese collection.
Yeah, I mean, I am from the cheese state unofficially because our cheese is the best in the country.
Of course,
so I
yeah.
think I would
Anyway,
have a
so
lot to
like
say
I
about
was
that.
I was figuring I figured we instead of just the whole episode would just be a tasting of a different cheese every week.
Oh, okay.
And we play some fancy music in the background. Maybe we'll drink some wine.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
You're not a wine guy?
I'm not a wine guy. I think wine is disgusting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's okay. I guess that's fine. But
You could do cheese and a White Russian. Do White Russians pair with cheese? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Still be into it though.
Hey, dude, fuck off! You can't be under the table. You can't be under the table.
So much hate for your cat.
I just don't want her in the little office area.
Yeah.
Because it freaks me out. I don't know why.
That's understandable.
She's just outside the table. Okay. She's just being a booger. She's been a little booger lately.
Really?
She'll go bother me for food. I'll be laying in bed. She'll just run in and out of my room like 8 times, after I tell her to fuck off.
Yeah.
And I'll finally begrudgingly get up and, hey, go away. I'll feed her, and even though her shit's like half empty, it's just so like there's still food there.
Yeah.
And then I'll put it in front of her. I'll put a new batch in front of her. She'll look at it and then just run away.
That's the cat life, man.
Like, why did I get up and do this for you when you don't even eat it? Like, it just drives me insane. And she does that happens like a couple times a week. Like, ugh. Yeah. Anyway, I think this podcast is about something else. You remember what this podcast was about?
Vagrant Records.
Vagrant. I think he said vaping at first.
No, definitely not vaping. It's about Community. We're here to talk about the television show Community.
That is right. And today we are talking about the episode called... Oh my god, what is it called?
App Development and Condiments.
There we go. This is a season 5 episode, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going late in the series. Have we done one from season 1 or 2 yet? I feel like we're like...
Yeah, we did season 2 last week.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Mixology certification.
That is right, yeah. So yeah, see, this is an episode from season 5. I don't know what episode. Could be the penultimate episode for all I know.
No, it's definitely not the penultimate episode.
Okay, like, so I keep forgetting to tell you this, but after the pod one night, I was watching a YouTube video where they said penultimate, and I just lost my shit so hard.
What was the YouTube video? What was it?
It was a Dead on Hip Hop video. They're reviewing a Brockhampton album.
Okay. Was it his penultimate album? Did they talk about the penultimate track?
I think they talked about. I think they mentioned. I think one of them called it the penultimate track.
Okay.
On the album, on whatever album they're talking about at the time.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just lost my shit, like giggling like a fucking little schoolgirl.
Nice.
And we had just finished doing the pod like literally like a half hour ago. And yeah, I don't know. I just kept forgetting to tell you that, but Okay.
Notes of it.
Before we get into it, I have a hot take. You asked me for a hot take behind
Behind
the
the
paywall.
paywall, yeah.
I failed to deliver. I failed to deliver.
Hmm.
But over the course of the week, I can't. I keep seeing chatter about the same three bands on
Okay.
Twitter,
Okay.
and I had the revelation that fuck those three bands.
Fuck those three bands. Okay.
Yeah. So my hot take is that Paramore
Uh huh.
is better than Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, and My Chemical Romance.
Okay. That is a hot
Paramore
take.
just blows all of them out of the water. Like all those bands suck compared to Paramore.
How do you figure that? So the only reason I would kind of ask you that is because you claim you haven't explored Fallout Boy enough to really make an opinion. So how do you know for sure that they are blown out
I've
of
heard
the
enough
water by
songs by Fall
Paramore?
Out Boy to know that like they suck.
So
I've heard a song from at least each album.
okay, so now that we're in collection 2 and you've kind of taken the reins, you're gonna stop hedging and just fully admit that you hate Fallout Boy.
Yeah, probably. I think Fall Out Boy probably sucks.
Oh my god.
Um, My Chemical Romance, I have a lot of respect for it. I do genuinely enjoy all four albums,
Hmm.
but Paramore's just so much better. I would just a million times listen to Paramore
What about
over.
like I admit that after like I could see why someone would not like Panic at the Disco after their first album, but I feel like A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is just a fucking
It
insane album. And
Panic
it's
at the
like
Disco is like the Nas of emo, where they've been coasting off one good album for their whole career.
okay, but what's wrong with Fall Out Boy? Do you not like Fall Out Boy's first album? Or sorry, Panic's first album?
I like it, and I loved it when it first came out. But everything after that is just like it's just been diminishing returns and like just embarrassing and like I don't know. I just can't stand it. Also, I've heard I had an ex girlfriend who loved Death of a Bachelor when that came out,
Well,
and
that song fucking
I
sucks. So
is that the name of no that's the name of the album, right?
there
Whatever
might be a
album that
title
song,
track.
whatever album that is.
Yeah, I mean that's no good. I like the first one. I like Pretty Odd. The third one was okay, but yeah, after that it's not great.
No, yeah.
But
See,
so
like I'm. It's just like it. I just assumed everything afterwards was just theater kid emo,
uh huh.
and it's like I don't need that in my life. So yeah, he's like Nas, where he's been coasting off of that one album,
Okay.
the first
Now
album. He got lucky by making a good debut album because he had talented friends, basically.
I've never listened to any Paramore albums other than Riot, which is only okay.
Well, you should change that. The self-titled one's great. The last one was really great. They're all really fucking great,
Hmm.
in my opinion. The first one's great before they were like super famous. One before Riot, that one's
Okay.
really good. All we know is failing. I'll admit, I'm like I haven't like I'm not like I don't know the word to like every song, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like a super Paramore head. But hey, no, fuck off, dude. Why do you keep coming over here? You know the result of what
Well,
happens when you come over here.
isn't this where you usually send her? She's confused.
What?
Well, because you're recording in a different room in your house now, right? When you used to record somewhere else, isn't this the room you would try to get her to go into?
Yeah, that's true, but I don't think that's why she's doing that. She would bother me when we record over there. So I mean, she just has to bother me when she record. She just has to bother me when we record. That's just her mo. That's just. But now she's laying on top of the couch, which that's a good spot for her.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, Paramore is better than all those bands. Fight me on Twitter, I guess. I don't know.
I'm just surprised you've seen. I mean, I guess I thought you were going to say something about Green Day because I've seen a lot of Green Day talk in our Twitter sphere. I haven't seen a lot of talk about those three bands lately, although they are, three very popular bands, obviously.
I just feel like those are like the three 3 of like the 10 bands I see talked about on Twitter.
Okay.
Those are 3 of the, and Paramore being the 4th one.
No, see, I never hear anyone talking about Paramore.
I guess you just look at. I guess we had the same Twitter, but I guess
Yeah,
we just go different places.
I guess so. I also have
I
my
see.
own individual Twitter, so I'm not usually on the pod's Twitter that much.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to get off Twitter, not completely because the pod, but I want to look. I need to look at it less
Mm-hmm.
because I never like every time I open Twitter, I'm never like, oh, I'm glad I did that. It's because I just see the same stupid jokes, maybe the same stupid people, and that's it. I don't know. Twitter hasn't been fun for a while. But maybe it's just me.
You're growing
Maybe
up.
I'm at a different point in my life. I don't know.
You're more mature. You're ready to watch. You're ready to get off Twitter and binge watch Gilmore Girls.
I don't know about that. I'm not ready for Gilmore Girls. All right, so Community. We were supposed to talk about that. I think.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, we've done a lot of running around on this one. This might be the longest we've taken to get the meat of the episode.
Does this mean we're leaving our jazz phase behind? Are we?
I don't know. I like our jazz phase.
Okay. Yes, and.
We should. Yeah. No. this, this is not our improv phase. This is our jazz phase.
I thought that it was our jazz phase because of the improv. That's what you told me.
Yeah, but let's leave the improv language out of it. I mean, that just gives me PTSD from
Oh,
having a
please tell
room.
me you were in an improv troupe or something.
No.
Oh,
My
okay.
my shitty roommate / cousin who stole a bunch of money from me basically because he lied about how much utilities were
Uh-huh.
every month. He was like saying it was like triple of what it actually was,
Oh, wow.
and he also like bailed on our lease. So I had to find someone in like 3 weeks or get evicted.
Yeah.
And yeah, he put me in a really shitty situation. And yeah, he's just an awful person. But he did improv,
Okay.
and I had to go see it a couple times. And improv people are just the worst. Just I can't be around that. And I won't have it on my podcast. God damn it! But no, I like the idea of us being a jazz band though. Podcasting jazz.
Okay.
I feel like we need to put down our instruments or retune them and jump right into the episode.
Yes.
So and let's start. Did you like this one?
I do. Do you?
Yeah, of course I picked it. I love this episode. Yeah, I think this is a really good later episode. As a matter of fact, I took some notes about it, but I don't know where I put my phone.
Okay. Are you sure it's not just blending into something black that's around you?
That is a good possibility. It's blending into the table. I really liked this episode a lot because it was very school oriented, where they turned the school into like a whole different world. You know, like it kind of like where it has that ambition where it takes the school beyond what the school is. Like it reminded me of the paintball episode, or like the Halloween episode,
Right.
or Pillows and Blankets. Yeah, where did my notes go? There we go. Yeah, Yeah, I thought the rivalry between Shirley and Jeff on this episode is really good.
Yeah, they've
You don't see that
explored
very
that
often.
before, but I think this is maybe the best iteration of that storyline.
Yeah, they don't hit on it all the time, but I think this is the best iteration of it for sure it because it takes a look at their deeper qualities, like it magnifies them.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think the episode that comes the closest in terms of also kind of exploring the way they go back and forth is the foosball one, which is actually an episode that I don't care for too much.
yeah, that one's not great, but I like that storyline. Yeah. What else do I have for notes here? I didn't like the recurring gag of Britta having mustard on her lip,
Okay.
and like that everyone listens to her. I thought that I don't know. I just felt like they were just trying to give her something to do,
Okay.
and I don't know. I forgot that. Yeah, this is after Troy left.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Troy and Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess it felt like that storyline with Britta just kind of like, I mean, it played into her need to be heard and like validated, like, but which is fine, which is good, but I don't know, it just like from a writing standpoint, it just felt like a forced plot line that didn't really go anywhere. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I didn't mind it. I mean, I thought it's ironic because a lot of times people do. I wouldn't say that characters often listen to Britta, but I would say she doesn't struggle being heard. She's just often dismissed because she's Britta. So I thought it was kind of maybe ironic that she's bringing up like valid points in this episode about the nature of social media and the way we judge people and critique people and how we get kind of trapped in those echo chambers. And then at that point, no one, she can't be heard. And then the only way for her to be heard is basically to demean herself by rubbing mustard on her face, right? Like I actually think it's almost, I think it fits into the theme because a lot of times people, especially like women, are stuck somewhere where they have to demean themselves on social media to get some sort of attention, whether that's revenue generating or not. But I actually, the more that I'm kind of just spinning my wheels talking out loud, I think it actually plays into maybe the bigger theme of what the episode is trying to say.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm high, and you said a lot of smart things. Now.
That's actually what I wanted to name the podcast, but we went another route.
I'm high, you say smart things.
Mm-hmm. Kugler.
One of the only appearances of Kugler, which is sad because I wish he's the best. I wish he was in every episode.
Kugler's great, yeah.
Yeah.
And who knew he could act? Who knew Mitch Hurwitz was an actor? I think he does a great job.
Who is that?
Though. That's the guy. He's the showrunner and creator of Arrested Development.
Really?
Yes, uh-huh.
He created Arrested Development?
That's correct, yeah.
Wow. So
in this episode, we have the creator of Arrested Development, and we also have an appearance from Tim and Eric in this episode.
Yeah, Tim and Eric. I don't, because we if you heard our most recent lab experiment, my opinion about Tim and Eric.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my notes is that Tim and Eric shouldn't have been 4s.
They should have been 5s, right?
They should have been 2s.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the Tim and Eric appearance. I mean, if they wanted to be on the show, or if Dan Harmon wanted them on the show, I think they could have found something better for them. It was a very throwaway gag. It was completely unnecessary, and I love Tim and Eric, but I didn't think they were necessary in this episode.
Yeah, I thought they were fine. I thought they were both really funny.
I thought Eric was
But
funny in the Coogler trailer at the very
yeah,
end.
he's like Cougar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought the other one was funny. Tim was funny when he was talking about it. He was like, I loved the two once.
Yeah. I'll keep your secret, new beans.
New beans, yeah. Yeah, I thought they were funny, but I think you bring up a good point where like they're, I mean, given who they are and their reputation, they could have been used in a much bigger way.
Well, and again, I didn't feel like it was necessary because I mean there have been plenty of story arcs or episodes with this Jeff and Britta, like will they, won't they? But that wasn't really that's not apparent in this episode. This isn't a possible Jeff and Britta romance episode. So then to kind of shoehorn in this, some of the fours think they have a secret romance, but then that doesn't really go anywhere beyond that scene. It seems extraneous.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see, what are my other notes? Oh, I like. What do you think of Jeff's stand-up routine when he was trying to become a 5?
I thought it was a really good parody of like shitty stand-up, like with the constant callbacks, like, and then the end, the Apple callback again. Like I thought it was really funny.
and like he's like, oh, you know how 4s they have that little that walk, you know, like this kind of thing. Yeah. But the Coug approved.
The Coug did approve. They all approved except for Shirley.
Yeah. I honestly I thought Coogler steals the show in this episode for real. Like, I would totally watch that Coogler movie if it were real. Yeah, I thought the Jeff stand-up routine was really funny actually. I thought that was a good climax to the episode, honestly. Overall, yeah, this episode is really creative. And
what did you think about? I think I brought this up. I want to say I brought it up last episode, but maybe it was behind the paywall. But what did you think about Professor Hickey in this episode? Because I had forgot that this was the season 5 episode that you picked, and he actually has, I think, a few good parts in this episode.
He's like hardly in it though. I felt like,
but I think when he is, like, I really like the part at the beginning when he's talking about how he fought for the country. And you don't get to pick what you're defending, but this is like, maybe too far or whatever. Like, I thought that was really good.
Yeah. The AV Club article or review mentions him, and like one of their critiques is that he got on board with the rating system like too quickly, like all of a sudden, and that didn't make sense.
I'd agree with that. It does seem a little quick, but you've only got 23 minutes to tell his fucking story, so.
Exactly, yeah. And so like getting into the AV critique section of the pod. Yeah, its main critique with the episode was that it has one good idea, and it does that one good idea really well, but then it piles on a million other ideas that don't work.
Okay.
I didn't really see that in this episode. I felt like the one main idea was just that one main idea, and it didn't seem like they were trying to do too much outside of explore their experience with this rating system.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, she says here it's the kind of movie that had one good idea somewhere, and then a bunch of other ideas piled on top of it, like you said, and eventually. Oh, sorry. And hey, can we get a lot of big stars to appear? So why not? I mean, I can kind of see that with, again, like having Tim and Eric for no apparent reason. But overall, I feel like, yeah, it's the main thing is just this critique of,
of like just popularity, class, like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They also gave it a B.
They did.
Yeah, which I think is way too low. I would have given it an A-.
Yeah, I'd say an A-. It's really weird to me though. Like, what am I trying to? What am I? I don't know. The only way I can kind of relate to this is with music. Do you have the example I would have would be like there's a band that I like. Let's talk about Blink-182 because it's one we both know. Like
Okay.
I could listen to like California or Nine and be like, oh yeah, these are pretty good songs. I could listen to this again. But then that's like if I just kind of listen to that out of context without having listened to them for a while. But then I'll go back and put on like Enema or Take Off Your Pants or something, or even Dude Ranch and go, oh wait, no. Like these are like this is fucking good. And while I still like the later stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's nowhere near as good. So I kind of feel like that here, where I like if I just watch this episode out of nowhere, like I did last night to get ready for this episode, like for our episode here, I was like, yeah, this
Mhm.
is really good. But I bet that if I had turned off that episode after finishing it and gone back to anything from the first three seasons, I would have been like, oh no, this is like the really
Huh.
good Community. So I
Interesting.
mean, I don't know. It's still a really good episode.
Yeah. No, I would consider this in the good community um um vessel, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I would classify this as good community for
Yeah.
sure.
One thing I would have
Yeah,
liked to have seen would be Professor Duncan, because John Oliver was back for season 5, but he was not in this episode.
he okay. That's one of my beef with the later seasons is that he does come back, but he's very rarely seen. Like I feel like he's barely in 5 and 6, and he should have been utilized way more. So
Yeah,
yeah, the fact that he's
he's
not.
not in 6 because by then he had his talk show.
Oh, okay, he wasn't in 6. Okay, I wondered why
Yeah.
he wasn't. They didn't write him out of the show then, did they?
No,
That's stupid. He deserves a signing off.
because what I've read, like he's obviously in the first 2 seasons, right? And then the third
Yeah.
season was an election year, and so he was busy because he was on the Daily Show at that point, so he
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
really he couldn't keep going back and forth from New York to L.A. And in the fourth season, he had no interest in doing it if Dan Harmon wasn't there. So then he was back in the fifth season, and then he got the HBO deal, so he just wasn't there in the sixth season.
Yeah. I still. Well, my point stands that he's way underutilized in season 5,
I agree.
and he definitely should have been in this episode. He should have been a 5. Um. Yeah. Do we have any other thoughts about this episode?
No, I mean, just I still don't understand this AV Club thing. I don't know why any like. Do you think that here's okay? So here's my question I would have about the AV Club is: do people? I know some people read it to hate read it because that was you, and you can't be the only one. But are there people who like? Do you think there are people who come and read this before they watch the episode? Like that may be me because I've talked about how I like to know what's going to happen. But do you think there are people who come and read it and go, "Oh, Emily Todd Vanderwerf says this is a B. I'm not going to watch it." Like, what is the
She has like
point of
5 names. Crazy.
She has what? Yeah,
She has like
fine. Like,
5 names. It's
yeah, she's got a
crazy.
lot of names. Yeah, like, what is the point of like? I understand the point of doing maybe broad reviews of television, so people can say, "Well, maybe I want to explore a show or not." But what do you see? Is there a value to reviewing every single episode and telling people whether to watch it? And now, again, now I'm saying something
No.
stupid because I'm basically saying like, "Why the hell are we doing this podcast?"
I don't um I don't think there's value in writing reviews
Okay.
of each episode of a show and that being your job.
Okay.
Um and telling people whether or not they should watch it. I do think our podcast is incredibly valid though.
Okay. The
I think
podcast is
there's
valid.
yeah, the podcast is valid because this isn't our job.
Hey, I mean,
We're just doing this for fun, and we're not
we
telling people whether or not they should watch it.
we make $8 a month on Patreon. Don't say it's not a job. We're getting paid.
We're making 8.
Yeah, 8.
8. Damn. Okay. Look at us. um. Yeah. I don't know. I just think um Yeah, and no disrespect to the people that do make money reviewing TV. I mean, I know the host of a podcast we both really like does that for a job.
Frank and Toast?
No, you know who I'm talking about. The host of a podcast that we both really love. You know,
I don't love any podcasts, not even this one.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Josiah does music reviews though, and movie reviews, right? I don't think he does TV reviews, at least not often.
I mean, but the same principle applies though.
Okay.
I don't think
I think an album review is much more useful and more valid than a review of a single episode of TV.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe a big part of me looks down upon it because that's something I thought I could have done as a career if I applied myself to writing more.
Okay.
Or if I like sent in any review that I've written like as a hobby. I never bothered to like pursue it as a job.
Yeah. There's still time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's still time. I don't have the attention span anymore though. That's why I like podcasting.
Just submit Fentuzler Friday threads to Alternative Press or something. Maybe they'll run them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what Fentuzler Friday was reviewing albums, but with a short attention span.
Right.
You know, it's like I don't have time to write paragraphs about the background of this album and my feelings about it. I just want to get as many jokes off as possible about it.
Yeah.
And tell people not to listen to it. which was most often the case.
Right.
But yeah. So what are your final thoughts about this episode?
I think it's a great episode. As I appreciate it as a political scientist. I think there's a lot of politicking going on. I think it's kind of a fascinating allegory for the state of modern society, and it's funny as hell. I think this is a great episode.
Oh, you think it's an allegory for politics?
Somewhat, like especially towards the end, you see like the rise of the ones. Right? It's very much like.
Okay, yeah.
It's a dystopian, maybe socialist revolution type thing at the end.
You saved your most interesting thought for the end. Like,
well, it's a final thought. I better fucking save the banger for the end, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. So, do you want to get into our side character profile?
Yeah, absolutely. Who are we talking about this week?
We're talking about Garrett.
Okay, Garrett.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I did some research. I brought you some videos.
You did. So what you mentioned, I think in our first episode of this collection, you mentioned that Garrett is your favorite secondary character. I guess why? What is it? What is the appeal of Garrett?
I just think his voice is really funny and he yells everything.
Yeah.
Like it's just I don't know. I usually think that would be really annoying.
Right.
But Garrett's just he's just such an incoherent person. Like, I love it. I don't know. It's so funny.
What's your favorite Garrett moment?
When he was judging the debate, it wasn't not the debate club.
Was it when he's hosting the Model UN?
Yeah, when he's hosting the Model UN thing. Yeah, crisis alert.
Yeah, that's good. That's probably my favorite Garrett thing as well.
Crisis alert. Oh, so good. All right, so we're gonna play a couple of videos here.
Yeah, let's start with the best of Garrett.
Garrett's over.
Oh, that's good.
row your boat.
What is going on?
The paintball game was starting, and then the dean announced the prize. The prize. We turned on each other like animals.
What was the prize?
This is not over. This is still happening right now. It's called chillaxing. Duh.
Let's go to Garrett and check on the weather.
It's still sunny.
All right, tell everybody your name. Garrett? Okay, Garrett. And why do you want to be president?
I wanted ice cream, so I got in line.
Okay. He wanted ice cream. So what do we say, gang? Does he make it to the next round? By applause? Oh, we got our first nominee.
Garrett, that guy's just a mess. It's like God spilled a person.
Access and share with us a profoundly deep and painful memory.
I'm on the playground. Stop taunting me. I just want to go on the swings.
Good. Early childhood is a treasure trove of pain.
That happened this morning.
Someone more, you're speaking. Because you're gay.
I've got something to say.
I don't take orders from girls because they don't talk to me.
Enemy soldiers are incoming. I need everyone to evacuate through the air vent.
I may be stuck in this vent. It is too early to tell. Crisis alert! A tsunami has hit Vietnam. Massive flooding has left famine in Ghana. Crisis alert! Tuberculosis outbreak. Crisis alert!
Humanitarian aid. We further resolve disarmament treaty to help women and children to save the orphans.
Loose nuke sinkhole. North Korea. Prime Minister in military coup.
What's this? Save Garrett? What's wrong with Garrett?
Nothing now. We saved him.
Wait, that's saved Garrett?
Okay. That was Garrett singing, Ave Maria. Ave Maria!
Should we increase their lithium?
Not yet. I want to see what happens if we confiscate one of their pens.
That's Dan Harmon doing that voice.
Predicting future crimes.
What's that?
Now I'm sick.
See? You said that would happen. You are
The voice when he's the insane asylum, that's Dan Harmon that does his voice in that scene.
Oh, really? Whoa.
Yeah.
Peacock.
Damn it! I signed the room out, and I have a final tomorrow.
They lost a pen.
And 2 pencils. When it rains, it pours. Ass crack bandit!
Dance, speak on an old phrase. It's all a bad dog, and it will amaze. You've heard this expression, you're on high.
The bear dance! Hurry up! I'm late for human rights class. I'm sorry.
I forgot about the bear dance.
Yeah.
Mr. Winger, when did you stop being funny? I mean, am I wrong? Or is he really intense here? Like, oh, you're born in the dirt, you'll die in the dirt. Hey, Leonard, you enjoyed my girlfriend in 2009?
as much as she enjoyed your plagiarized poetry.
I will kill you! Whoa! Don't act like you care about me! I've seen all your cartoons about me! I have this the worst nightmare!
Sweating a lot and breathing heavy, and my heart felt like it was going to burst in my chest. But the day I met Stacy, most of those symptoms actually declined.
And now, this is a man that knows how to marry his cousin.
Stacy? Will you be my legally incestuous wife?
Yes!
Everyone stay and eat cake! Or Go to hell!
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
brought another video.
Yeah. So when I YouTubed Garrett Community, this is the second thing that came up, and it's the actor who plays Garrett doing a stand-up set on Conan, one of your favorite shows.
Maybe. Yeah, okay. So we've got Eric Charles Nielsen is his name. So this is him performing a stand-up set on Conan. Oh, sorry, you had something else?
And let's just play it.
Okay.
Please welcome Eric Charles Nielsen.
I was going to say that.
Ever since I graduated from college, I've been pursuing stand-up comedy with a vengeance. And not just because stand-up comedy killed my father. I actually suffer from a condition which makes me practically unemployable. I majored in English. But you know what's terrible? Everything! Some comics file their jokes away in folders. I only own 2 folders. One of them is labeled Plots to Destroy the World. The other one is labeled Teen Angst Poetry. But it doesn't contain teen angst poetry. It contains Plots to Destroy the World. The one labeled Plots to Destroy the World actually contains plots to take over the world. It's misdirection. Another example of misdirection is how you think this is a joke about folders and taking over the world. It's actually a joke about drag queens. None of you were expecting that. Now, I'm not a drag queen myself, but I'm concerned for them. I just want to say to them, listen, guys, you can't all be queens. Do you know nothing of political science? If you want to be queens, you have to rule over somebody, some kind of drag peasants. And from there to the lesser ranks of the nobility, drag baronesses, drag countesses, drag duchesses. 1 queen per region. And then you can have wars. What they've got now is some kind of drag anarchy. I've been suffering lately from hallucinations. I saw a doctor. There was no doctor. So I have a human woman girlfriend, possibly due to a clerical error. But it's going well. I love her. And I'm especially happy. Before I met her, I was not successful with girls. I have been on 3 dates in my entire life. And that's counting a job interview that included lunch. I'm happy. Now I'd like to say a few words about Donkey Kong. In the first Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong, this evil gorilla kidnaps a woman and climbs to the top of a construction site with her. And you play as Mario, who has to climb up after them and rescue her. In the second Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong Jr., Mario has kidnapped the gorilla and taken him to the jungle. And you play as Donkey Kong's son, who has to rescue his father. The 2 games cancel each other out. If you play both of them, you've done nothing. Then there is Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, where Donkey Kong is living on an island with a bunch of other gorillas and they're being threatened by evil crocodiles. Mario isn't even there. Do you know what this proves? The people at Nintendo subscribe to Jean-Jacques Rousseau's concept of the noble savage. You see, Donkey Kong is innately good. But when he's exposed to the corrupting influence of civilized society, as represented by the construction site, he goes berserk. Also, crocodiles are naturally evil. Also, I do not understand understand that song, It's Raining Men. Because if it were really raining men, they'd be crashing through roofs and landing on pedestrians and splattering into jelly all over the sidewalks. And yet the song is like, hallelujah, it's raining men.
What the fuck?
No, it is nonsense. Don't applaud it. If you ask me, a better title for that song would be, It's Raining Death! Horrible, inescapable death! In the form of men! Thank you.
All right, then.
Yeah. So it's like Garrett doing stand-up, kind of.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings about that set, but I knew we had to watch another pod. There's no way we couldn't.
That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it. Unless you got anything else.
I've got nothing else. I'm enjoying this ride in the passenger's seat where I don't have to research anything. I don't have to come prepared. I just kind of show up and run my mouth.
It's fun, isn't it? Yeah, it's a fun ride. Yeah, being in the driver's seat's a little hard. I don't know, but I think I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. Yeah, we've gone an hour, so. All right. Well,
this will be our longest one yet.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, good night and good luck, listeners. I don't know. I'm high. I don't know what I'm saying.
All right. Good night.